My name is Keith Goforth. I'm 41 years old, and right now I am an assembly worker in a refrigeration manufacturing company. I've been doing that for the past 10 months. Before then, I was a concrete finisher for 18 years of my life. Well, March 16th of 2014, which was last year, I was in a severe car accident. I had been at the bar drinking all day. Met a couple of people I did not know. I still to this day don't know them. Ended up in a vehicle with them, getting in an accident about 1 o'clock in the morning that night. So that's how long I was out drinking and doing things. The car collided sideways with a guardrail. The guardrail punctured and ripped the door where I was sitting completely off the vehicle, came in, crushed my body, sent the car into a opposite direction, spinning down the highway, and I was ejected 130 feet out of the car into Highway 55. I was then, a passerby actually stopped and dragged me out of the highway onto the shoulder, and then, of course don't remember any of this. When I woke up a month and a half later, had no idea, was in a coma for 50 days. I woke up to my family being there and found out that I had a broken sternum, a crushed rib cage, a broken shoulder, my crushed right forearm, a broken nose, punctured eyeball, a lacerated liver, lacerated spleen, punctured and collapsed lungs, and multiple spinal fractures. And at the time, when I woke up, everything had already been repaired. My ribs are all my rib cage is titanium plates and screws. My forearm, both the radius and the ulnar, are both titanium rods and screws. My shoulder was the scapula that was broken and fractured in many places. Is such a delicate bone that they are unable to do a lot of surgical things with that bone because of its fragility. So in its state, it stayed the way it is and was allowed to fuse back together in the condition that it was in. So my shoulder is kind of funky. Didn't actually heal the way it should be. And when I woke up and everything, came to who I am, I started healing remarkably quick. The doctors and everybody were just kind of in awe, didn't realize, didn't understand, like, man, you're so healing very quickly. And I was actually only in the hospital 10 more days after that. I had a few more dialysis. My kidneys had shut down 100% failure. So within that process, I had 62 dialysis treatments, 4-hour treatments to clean my blood, 2 biliary drains, external feeding tubes. And so for the next 10 days after that, I had acute rehab in the hospital, which went remarkably well. I was in a wheelchair for the first 4 days, was moved to a cane after that, and was unable to be on a walker because of the damage to my forearm. I was not allowed to put weight on my forearm on a walker, so I had to learn with a cane. But that all went remarkably well, very quick. 10 days, I was able to go home. I still was not able to live on my own. I moved in with my parents. they took, I'm very lucky to have parents that I have, and my sister and everybody. And I went home with 2 external biliary drains still, and a feeding tube still. For the next 3 weeks I had those outside of the hospital, carried around with me. And from there I just felt like I needed to exercise. So I started walking the neighborhood slowly, and wasn't, I could only be out for about 5-10 minutes before I had to go inside. And then when I was able to get around better, I was able to get a car, actually drive myself, and I was visiting some friends, and I ran to a girl who goes here named Jamie, and I said, Jamie, you look really good, what have you been doing? She said, oh, I do CrossFit. I was like, what is CrossFit? What is that? She's like, you should come try this. I was like, I don't know. So, I'm not in the best shape right now. I don't really know what I'm gonna be able to do. So about a week or 2 went by, and I called Jamie and I asked her, and I met her up at Share the Burden's first outpost, which was JD's gym, and I met Justin Smiley, and I told him my situation, my story, and I wasn't sure what I'd be able to do, and he's like, oh, we can scale things down to you, and we'll get you going, take good care of you, and they have taken great care, and he got me started. Couldn't even barely do an air squat, and so here it is, almost exactly a year later. For somebody who has never heard of CrossFit, I find CrossFit being kind of hard to define. People have asked me, I tell them Google it. Google, that way they can get many different aspects and different type of things. But to me, CrossFit is a lifestyle, and it kind of needs to be a lifestyle if you want to benefit everything it has to offer in its full potential. Well, what keeps me coming back, it makes me happy. It really brings something to my life that I really enjoy. It makes me feel good about myself and everything that is going on. My past life was to me, doesn't really feel real. I know that it's true, and I know that it is real, but after being in a coma for 50 days and looking back, whatever happened after that is what is real to me now. And before that, kind of embarrassed to say that's who I was. I was a heavy drinker, heavy drug user. I just did a lot of things I probably shouldn't have been doing. I was still a good person. I just did things that weren't, just weren't on the right path. And maybe I should mention my blood alcohol at the time of the accident. I was at the hospital for an hour. They told me before they were even able to take my blood alcohol content, I had IVs running in me, and it was still a 0.19. So that's that's a high content for somebody. I shouldn't really even have been coherent, I wouldn't think. But now, CrossFit is a way for me to turn my life in the way it should have been the past 40 years. And it almost feels like it has allowed me to become the person I was meant to be from the beginning. I had just gone off on the wrong path for a long time, and now I found it, and it makes me really happy. Well, I think if you are contemplating CrossFit or exercise or working out or any type of physical, or adding any type of physical aspect to your life, if you're going to choose CrossFit, you need to make it a commitment and a dedication and a devotion to yourself if you try to do it for anybody else or any other reason than that's what you really want or want to commit to, then it's not going to work. You'll be better off going to a Globo gym or somewhere else. Hey, come do CrossFit. Everybody should do CrossFit as far as I'm concerned. It's not for everybody though. If you don't have the devotion or the commitment, you're not gonna, like before, you're not gonna be able to reap the benefits that it has to offer. And I think you might end up being disappointed. If you're around people that are not at all interested in the same things you are, they don't care that you have meal preps or you don't want to go out drinking at 10 o'clock at night or you have to work out at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. They don't care. They're just, skip it. Well, you don't want to skip it. And then once you're here and the training is just grueling and wearing you down and breaking you down and you look around and you're not the only person doing it. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is hurting and doing the exact same thing you're doing, and it just makes it a lot easier to endure, and you just want to come back and you want to see progression in the other people, and you want to push and you want to help them progress. And if you see them start to fall back a little bit, you want to maybe send them a text that night or a couple days later and just push them. You push them and encourage them. Don't give up, keep coming back. Remember, don't forget why you're doing this, and just helps everybody achieve what they're trying to achieve for themselves, I believe. That specifically has actually changed for me several times in the past year since I've been here. You probably heard me say several different things I'm trying to achieve or my goal, and I feel my fitness goal personally is to do this until I can't do it anymore. And that's, I already know that I'm not going to be a top games athlete. I'm not going to be a very high level elite athlete. I'm 41. I've had a lot of physical things done. I've made great progression as far as I feel and I'm concerned. I think I've done very well. And I'm very happy with where I am at right now. Of course, I expect to keep progressing and getting better. And as long as that keeps happening, I'm a pretty happy person. And I'm planning on doing this for as long as I can, hopefully until I just can't get out of bed anymore. That's gonna be a long time.